is this thing here, John?
Well, this is a boom camera. Essentially, it's involved in a system called motion control. There's more than one way of achieving the end result of this system. At this point, we are cantilevering the camera off of a boom to allow clearance underneath it so we can come in close to our miniatures and come in close to whatever subject material we're shooting. Mechanically, the device has to have a very, very high accuracy so it can repeat exactly from one move to the next. We can duplicate the move that the camera makes, which in fact, if you look at the camera moving here, as a result, on the final film product, as a result, the spaceship would appear to move from the top of the screen to the bottom, and you thereby feel that you're watching it move and not moving yourself, but in fact the camera's point of view is what's moving. The duplication of the passes comes into play when we add things like lights or engine effects or those kinds of things, which really can't be effectively photographed at the same time we photograph the surface detail. So the second pass aspect of this camera system is what allows us to make very special looking flared engines that have very bright light effect, or thousands of tiny little lights all over the surface of the ship going on and off to give a sense of reality to it. And it's pretty hard when you have something this small to make it look real without some of those tricks.
What's this little thing in your hand?
This is a, well, it's transducer. This is a transducer. Basically what it is it's a pressure-sensitive device that allows you to vary the speed by how hard you press, rather than by actually displacing something. In essence, it's a joystick. That's what we call it. And it can be switched to various axes of motion for the tilt or the roll, which you just saw here. And then it also works for the pan and the boom. So all axes can be controlled basically from this one box. Generally, we record one axis at a time. We could hook them all up so you could fly it like an aircraft, but as it turns out, it's very difficult to do all of the axes at the same time without becoming terribly confused. A lot of people with their hair torn out, sitting in the corner when we used to program all axes at the same time. But basically, you record one axis. It's like sound recording. You record one axis, let's say this kind of a boom move, and once it's recorded, you can play that back and add a second axis. So you can take and add to that boom move when it's played back. Then you can go and add a roll to it. And you can play both of those channels back exactly the way you recorded them initially, and then put a third axis on, which is the tilt. And those all play in concert when you play back the final program for photography purposes.